What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today I want to talk about Truth Social. So President Trump, he has a media company. Okay, he started a media company as soon as he left the White House, and I believe as soon as he left the White House. I can't confirm that, but I think that's what happened. He started this media company, and now we have Truth Social. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. And I like to start conversations. So in the comment section, make sure you guys let me know how you feel about what I'm going to talk about today, because I want to know your side, your opinion. I'm also considering starting to do live streams again. Okay, I posted yesterday that I was going to do a live stream. I had to pull it back because my equipment wasn't working the way that I wanted it to be working. But I'm considering doing live streams again, and then really having a dialogue where we can talk back and forth as I do the live stream. So that's something that I'm thinking about now, maybe once, twice a week, and not really have a set schedule, but kind of just come on, give you guys notice. So let me know how you feel about that as well. And so in this video, we're going to talk about Truth Social. But first off, on this channel, we talk about financial news, what's going on in Washington, D.C. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so let's go right over. We'll take a look at NPR. They covered this story here. When it comes to Trump's social media app launches a year after his Twitter ban. Okay, so we all know that Trump had some issues, or there were some issues between Twitter and Trump. And I would say President Trump, whether you like him or you don't, he really put Twitter on the map, because people were just on Twitter. Some people were just on Twitter just because they wanted to hear what President Trump was saying. And so Twitter did ban him, as well as I believe YouTube banned him. I don't know who else banned him, but he was banned from a few different social media networks. Maybe Facebook, probably Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Okay, and I think it might even be in this article, but nonetheless, yeah, here it is right here. So he was banned from Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And so now what does he do? He creates his own social media app. It's called Truth Social app. Okay, so this is, I believe right now it's only in the Apple Store, so it's not for Android as of yet. And one thing I want to say, and I think this is pretty, I mean, it sounds like a problem, but I think it's pretty clever in the sense that they had some hiccups. They had some hiccups with the app. Now, this is one of those things where that bad news can be good news, because now there's scarcity. People are really focused now. Oh, I can't get in. Some people got in, some people weren't able to get in. And so now you have a waiting list. So they have this waiting list. And so now you're going to have people signing up for the waiting list because they want to get in, right? It's just like when you go by, when you were younger, when I was younger, we used to go by the clubs. And sometimes we would just drive by to see if there was a line out front. If there was no line out front, it's probably like, yeah, you know what? There's no reason to go in there. There's nobody in there. But sometimes they would have the line out front just because they weren't letting people in. They wanted that line because they know when people drive by, they see that long line, they're going to say, hey, it must be a lot of people in there. When reality is there's nobody in there. They're just not letting people in yet. Sometimes businesses use tactics like that. And I think this is one of those situations where that might be the case, where they might have let a few people in and said, okay, you know what? We're having some glitches. We're having some problems. We're trying to work them out. We're putting you on a wait list. And now everyone wants to get on that wait list, right? Everybody wants to be waiting in order to see what's going on in this Truth Social app, which is a kind of a weird name, Truth Social. Whatever, it is what it is. But what I'm interested in how are they going to address, let's say someone is anti-Trump. Are they going to be able to come in this app and put out their information? Is this going to be a completely open app? I mean, you have Twitter, you have Facebook, you have YouTube. For the most part, they're open, but they do have certain guidelines that you need to abide by, right? You're in their house, okay? I'm on YouTube right now. I'm in YouTube's house. So if YouTube has terms and conditions and I'm not meeting those terms and conditions, guess what? I'm going to have to go. Okay, and that's the way things go. Now, of course, they're going to be fair about it, and in most situations, they're going to take a hard look before they ban someone. But that's generally the way it works. It's just like if someone came to my house and I'm having a party, and I have certain moral beliefs, and I have certain things that I think are appropriate, not appropriate. And if you're in my house and you're doing one of those things that I think is not appropriate, guess what? You're going to have to leave. Okay. This is, although you might think, oh, well, I should be able to say what I want to say and this and that, there's freedom of speech. Yeah, you can have freedom of speech, but if you're in my house and you're saying something that I don't approve of or I don't agree with, or you're threatening someone, you need to leave. You can't be in my house. Okay. Even if you're standing out in front of my house and you're saying those things and you're yelling into my house, yeah, you're in a public space. But guess what? I'm calling the cops and they're going to have to come and try to deal with the situation. And then if the police officers decide that you're being a nuisance, even if you're in a public space and you're being a nuisance, you're going to go to jail, or at least they're going to tell you to leave. And if you don't leave, then maybe you'll go to jail. So in this situation, I'm interested to know how they're going to handle that. So you're going to have people that are going to sign up and they're going to have, and I don't know exactly how the format will be. Will you be able to put videos on there? Will you be able to is it just like Twitter where you're just going to be typing in information, have these little tweets going out, or I guess truths, they're going to call them truths, have these different truths going out. How are they going to handle it if these truths are going against Trump? Is this going to just be a platform only for people who are pro-Trump, or is this going to be a platform for everyone? So it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. And then another thing we have to talk about is the Apple App Store. So that is the funnel. That's how you get this app. So the Apple App Store they can close you off. So let's say that Truth app, this Truth social app gets to a point where it's now a danger. I mean, it's a risk because you have people on there that are saying things that are causing problems, terrorist activity. I'm just saying, I'm going out there, right? We saw with Parler, there were some issues with that app. Will there be some issues with Truth? And if that's the situation, will the Apple App Store, will they close down? It's not on Android yet, but I'm sure it will be on Android in the future. So will Google Play, will they shut them down? So I'm really watching this story. I think this is a very, very interesting story. I'm all for these different social media platforms. I think social media is great. And I talked about this in a video a couple of days ago. I was saying that it's both a blessing and a curse, social media, because you can really get your information out there, but also you can put a lot of misinformation out there. So it's going to be interesting to see how this app works. And when they do have it for Android, I will sign up. I do want to see what's inside. And I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot about what's inside now. Like I said, I think this is a business strategy here where the app is not functioning properly. And now you have some people that are on the app, and then you have a lot of people that are waiting on that waiting list, right? And so now you're going to be getting information coming from that app. Different, I'm going to call them truths. I don't know what they're going to say, but you're going to have different things that are coming out of that app, and people are going to be like, oh, wow, they said that. I want to get in there. Now, one problem that I can see with all the different social media apps coming out, we're really in a divided country, and people don't even watch the same news networks. I mean, some people watch Fox, some people watch MSNBC or CNN. But I can guarantee you that most people that are watching Fox, they're not watching Fox and MSNBC. They're only watching one or the other. And so, or Fox and CNN, usually they're watching one or the other because they're giving different viewpoints, right? And we have a lot of commentators now. This is another thing. News has changed. Cable news really changed things because it's 24-hour news. And so now we have a lot of commentators that are on there. I'm a commentator. Okay, I'm on YouTube. I'm a commentator. I'm giving you kind of my opinion when it comes to a lot of these different stories. And then, of course, I'm asking you for your opinion in the comment section. But these cable networks, they're doing the same thing. You have all these guys that are up there and women that are up there, and they have their certain viewpoint. The only difference is there's really not an interaction with the commentator and the audience. Usually the commentator is just saying what they believe, and then they'll have a few people that are like-minded on their, they'll interview a few people that are like-minded, and that's it. It stops there. They're not really answering comments and stuff like that. Like if you're on YouTube and you're answering the comments, they're not really doing that. Even the politicians, a lot of politicians have YouTube channels. Some of them have their comments open. They're not answering comments. I've never seen a politician, the actual politician, not one of his aides, respond to a comment. Whereas I respond to comments. Not every comment. I do get a lot of comments, but I'll respond to comments, or I'll use some of those those comments to do future videos. So what do you guys think about this? What do you think about this Truth Social app? Do you think this is going to be a platform where it's going to be only for pro-Trump supporters, or this is going to be for everyone? You'll be able to get on there. You'll be able to voice your opinion. Even if it's anti-Trump, you can say something that's anti-Trump and they're not going to ban you or anything like that. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.